Yep.
Where's my boyfriend?
All right.
He coming?
We're gonna do a supine transfer today for our pregnant lady here. What's your name there?
Mabel.
I'm gonna check your name down here. And Mabel, your last name is what?
Johnson.
Okay, Mabel Johnson. What's your birthday?
January 17th, 1990.
Okay, well I'm Candy, and I'm going to be the nurse in the room today. And we have our surge tech over here, Nicole.
Hi.
And she's going to be helping Dr. Johnson today. And so we're going to get you onto this other bed.
I was in surge tech school once.
You were? How was your instructor?
That's why I quit.
I can understand that. What's going on? This is typical. Stuck on the grate. All right. Now, Mabel, do you think that you would be able to move to this other bed?
Oh no.
Oh.
I have so many cramps and...
Not in your condition. All right, I can understand that. So we will put the brakes on the bed. And then what we want to make sure we do is we take all of Mabel's cords with us. And so Mabel has a Foley catheter in. So we're going to put it underneath her, and we're going to bring it over to the other bed. Now, we're going to need some lifting help because Mabel has told us that she cannot move herself. And so we want to lower this side rail, and we're going to have both beds butted up against each other, and we're going to make sure they're locked. Nicole's going to give that bed a little push and make sure that it's locked. And now I'm going to lower this side rail, and always make sure when you lower the side rail that your patient's hand isn't caught in here. So tuck your arm in there, Mabel. Okay. Do we know what we're having today?
A baby?
Well, I figured that, but...
I want it to be a surprise.
Oh, good. I love surprises. All right. So our anesthetist, Wetner, is coming in here. And our
Who are you?
Anesthetist.
What's your name?
Wetner.
And let's see, can we get Sylvie to come and give us a hand?
What do you want me?
I'm going to have you grab her feet. And so what we're going to do here now is Wetner's going to watch your head and your shoulders. And Nicole is going to be on that side. And I'm going to take the draw sheet here as soon as I find it. And I'm going to roll Mabel over towards me. And always make sure you tell your patient what you're doing first. So, Mabel, I'm going to roll you towards me. We won't let you fall, but we're going to be putting a little board underneath you, and that's going to help us get you over to the operating room table. So Wetner will watch your shoulders and your head, and on 3, we're going to roll her towards us. 1, 2, 3. Now this board's a little hard. I'll roll you back. Nicole now is going to take the draw sheet. I'm going to take the other end of the draw sheet. And Sylvie's going to take her feet, and Wetner's going to be watching her shoulders and her head. And so then on 3, we're going to move her over to the other bed. So are you ready to move? Okay. 1, and you watch your Foley there that it doesn't get caught. Okay. Sometimes at the last minute these cords fall down between the bed and they get hidden with blankets and sheets, so you really have to be careful that the cords don't fall down. Now the one thing honestly that we would be missing is that our patient would have an IV right now most likely. Sometimes they might have 2 or 3 IVs. We could have drains. Our patient could have drains in. So you have to be aware of where all the tubes are. And so we're going to move Mabel now on 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. And now Mabel, we're going to roll you over towards Nicole. She's going to grab the draw sheet, and then I'm going to get the roller board out. Now, what we want to do is we want to unlock the brake on the stretcher, and we're going to bring this bed out into the hallway. But before we do so, we always want to make sure that our patient is strapped in. And so we will take the safety strap now, and we'll put it over our patient's thighs. And you want to make sure that when you attach it to the frame of the bed, that you don't attach it somewhere like this where it could slip off. So you would have to attach it down here. And we'd have to turn this around because the Velcro is flipped around. And now we would want to give our patient a warm blanket. And another thing that we would maybe do is put some arm boards on. Even if the patient's arms are going to be tucked at their side, until we do that, so anesthesia can have access to the IVs, we might want to have their arms out on arm boards. So, Jeremy, if you want to grab that arm board there, and Nicole, and we can show how we would put those on. The arm board has some little grooves with teeth and this lever. And so you want to get this straight, depress it here, and then lift up on this lever here and catch the bed on the frame here. It's a little tricky. It takes a little working. Now, always test your arm board to make sure. And now we can slide it. We could put it at her side, and I could have her put her arm down at her side. I could put this arm board out, and I could have her put her arm out. You want to make sure that you never hyperextend their arms because they could have brachial plexus injuries. Another thing you're worried about is that you want the pads on your arm boards to be of the same width. And sometimes what happens is in the hospital, they'll buy a bed and they'll get arm board attachments, and then they'll go to another company and the arm board might come with a different thickness of pads on the arm board, so you always have to make sure that you have the right thickness on your pad. And you wouldn't want the patient's arm to be lying on the metal frame at all, because you could have ulnar radial nerve damage too. And so then we would want to get some tape and tape her arm down. The hospitals also have Velcro straps. And I like to tell the patient that we're doing that so they don't get scared that we're, securing their arms down. So how does that feel, Mabel?
Good.
Okay, good. All right, and then we might want to get her a warm blanket or two. And if her feet were, and of course she's got shoes on, but she wouldn't. And if her heels were breaking down, or we felt like they were pressure points pushing into the bed, we could get a pillow, or we could get gel pads or whatever and put that underneath her heels. Another thing now that we'd want to do, and this is just an example of like foam, but we could get just about anything. Another thing that we're going to want to do is we're going to want to take this Foley catheter and we're going to want to put it up to the head of the bed, because anesthesia always likes to know what the output is. So we would make sure that it's not caught on anything underneath the bed, under her leg I should say, and then we would hook it up to the top of the bed so it still drains by gravity, but that anesthesia then can see what her output is. And the one thing you want to be careful of too is patients always do this, they cross their legs. So, and if the sheet is on, you can't always tell. So always make sure that they don't cross their legs, ask them to uncross it. And so that is the basic supine to supine transfer using a roller board.